McCART IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. I'm delighted to be joined by Mr. Aaron Chalmers. You're over the moon. We spoke a little bit before I pushed record there about the first time I met you, and you were talking about turning pro and coming into the boxing game. Finally, it's here. You've signed with BOXXER. You've signed with Sky Sports, man. How happy are you?
Like you've just said, it's been a long time coming. I think when I met you, I was about 3-4 weeks just at the gym, down at the boxing booth. So it was a very, very early doors. But I think the time it's took to get signed and stuff has only been beneficial to me because I've not stopped working. Apart from when I've had me another baby, or when I had a little injury on my back. But apart from that, I've been at the gym consistent for 17 months. So I think it's been time well spent there. So I think if I had it been any time earlier, it would have been just getting in there and kind of relying on half boxing and half heart, like let's have a fucking fight, you know what I mean? So I've kind of been working on just pure basic boxing, really. The basics. You can't go wrong with the basics. So I'm learning to do the basics very, very well.
But that's it. You have obviously you're a TV personality. Then you made the transition to MMA. Now you're making the transition to boxing. But sticking on the whole BOXXER and Sky Sports deal, was that an easy decision for you and Adam and the team to put pen to paper?
Do you know, there was a few floating around, but when once Adam spoke to BOXXER, obviously Sky Sports is massive. It's massive. So for me, it was like I left it up to Adam, but then I think we always knew it was going to be Sky Sports, especially because obviously Northeast boxing is booming at the minute. We've got Savannah Marshall, got a lot of people up there, Big Stevie, and apparently there's some big shows coming up there. So fuck me, I want to be on them. Do you know what I mean? I want to be on them. I don't want to be. I mean, I don't mind fighting other places, but when there's Newcastle shows on, I want to be in the thick of it.
Well, you've seen it. We've seen with Lewis Ritson what he does. We've seen, do you know what I mean, when he pulls in the crowds. And like I say, I've been to like when Lewis was knocking everyone out back when he was a lightweight and he sold out the Metro Arena. It's not the Metro Arena anymore. Is it?
The Utilita.
Yeah. I mean, the atmosphere is just phenomenal. It is unreal, man. So I know you've fought Bellator in Newcastle, but there's something different about boxing fans when they come out, the big arena and stuff like that, the singing and stuff like that. So you must be buzzing, exciting to get in there.
Well, exactly that. Some of the MMA fans are a bit, it was a bit of a mixed bag, do you know what I mean? Which I'm sure the boxing will be, but when it's Newcastle and it's Newcastle's own fighters, I don't think it matters if I'm from fucking Geordie Shore, Coronation Street, wherever you come from, as long as you're from Newcastle, then fans are chanting your name. So yeah, I'm hoping we get a date very soon, and I'm hoping we'll start off up in Newcastle, because I think what better way to start the career off than in my hometown. I wouldn't mind starting it off there and finishing it there in 2 or 3 years time.
That's the saying. You mentioned 2 or 3 years time, because you hope you don't mind me saying, but you are 34 years old. You've had you have had that TV personality life in Geordie Shore. My missus is actually a fan of yours. She can't believe it. I'm talking to you right now. And then you've got the MMA game. You were 5-2 as an MMA. A couple of knockouts, a couple of submissions. Never been knocked out yourself though. No. So
I've got a half decent chin. I would like to think anyway. I've got a bit of it. I've got no chin. I've been kicked, kneed, stuff like that in the face, and it hasn't put us down. So touch wood. That may that continue.
Touch wood. Well, listen. Why boxing though? Why go from the TV personality to MMA and then think to yourself, you know what? I'm 34 years old. You've got a beautiful young family, as I've seen on Instagram. Why do it? Why box?
I'll be honest with you, right? So when I first took the first MMA fight, it was only just a ticket off my list. That's it. I just want to have one fight. I can say I've done it. Boxing was always what I preferred, but the old agent I have, his brother-in-law was a matchmaker, and we just fell into the MMA. Do you know what I mean? But I messed the MMA up. I'll be honest with you. I was doing an 8-week fight camp, and then I was going missing for 3 months on the drink. Then I was coming back. I was getting fit for 4 weeks, and I was doing another 4-week camping. Then I was filming in between. So I was never given, and I can honestly say I never give it 100%. At most, I probably give it 60%. At the very most, because like you see, I was in the lifestyle where I wanted to be out every night. I wanted to be known as an MMA fighter. Like, do you know what I mean? I wanted all these things, but all these things didn't match. I couldn't go out every night and train and go on filming TV shows. So it was just a half-assed effort, and I was given such a good stage on Bellator, and that was made 60%. 60%, like, just not asked. Do you know what I mean? So I thought, once I had the last fight 2 years ago and the lockdown hit, and I went through a bit of a bad patch, so I lost the fight, then lockdown, and I had my first son, and I just couldn't get away from. I was just drinking all the time. I just had a bit of a bad. Well, I had a fucking terrible time. So, come August, September, when I was speaking to Josh, he was like, "Come down the gym." That was the turning point.
Yeah,
Josh Kelly, that was the turning point. And I met Adam, and Adam was like, "If you want to train here, you have to live like an athlete." And that was fucking 17 months ago. And I think I can count literally on one hand. I've had 2 drinks in 17 months. 2 drinks, that's it. Do you know what I mean? And all I care about now is my family. And I just think, I'm not that old. I'm 34. I'm fit. I don't drink. I'm the fittest I've probably ever been in my whole life, because I'm training alongside Mick Conlan, who's a fucking beast. And I live with him. So everything he does, I have to do. Do you know what I mean? So I'm the fittest I've ever been. And I just think I haven't got the damage of years of boxing and getting head battered and everything. So I think a good solid 2 years, and I can bow out highly and think, do you know, as I give it everything. Like I say, I fucked up with the Bellator. So I think if I don't do this, it's always going to be what if, what if. So I've got the opportunity now, and I'm going to grab it with both hands.
I know Adam Booth, and I know that he wouldn't take you on if you weren't giving it 100%. He wouldn't think, "Oh, there's Aaron Chalmers, 60%. Yeah, let's chuck him in the ring." And Adam would make sure you're giving it 100% all the time, whether it's training or anything in life. Because, like I said to you, Adam's one of them guys. But you mentioned Mick Conlan there, and you train alongside guys like Harlem Eubank as well, who's
Harlem,
absolute student of the game as well. He does all that. The masters and that, he's trying to master his craft, like he says. So you must be bouncing off them and picking their brains every single training session.
Do you know what it is? It's funny. So I go in early with Mick, but I find myself like at the end of sessions, there's always like people like Abbas, Harlem, Josh Kelly, and I just watch them. And I'll try and just take, even if I take one thing away from them and think, right, I'm going to practice that. Like yesterday, I was just trying to do some sharpshooting sport, like body sparring with Josh Kelly. As you know, he is rapid. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking to myself, if I can avoid a fucking jab off Josh Kelly, I'm sure I can avoid a jab off an average boxer. Do you know what I mean? So I'm in a very privileged position with coaches and teammates around us. So I mean, I had a quick look on the Sky Sports fucking the comments before, and it's a very mixed bag. Do you know what I mean? It's like you got your good and you've got your bad. There's no really in between. But it's them kind of people.
And that's the internet for you, mate. Don't worry about that. That's the internet.
Do you know what it is though? I love it though. I love it because it's them kind of people that when you're having a bad day, or they're the kind of people that spur us on, telling us that you can't do it. Like, I look at half the pictures, the people that comment and stuff, and the fucking big fat cunts. Sorry, I don't mean it. Do you know what I mean? Probably never set foot in a gym in their life. So I just think, do you know what it is? If you're a boxer or you train boxing on a daily, then fair enough, have your say. I don't mind. If you've done it or been there and done it, then I'll take the criticism. But when you've never set foot in a gym and you're trying to tell me that I can't do it, it's like, fuck off, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Listen, so what you're saying you got 2-3 years in the sport of boxing. What do you want out of it then? Is it titles? Obviously, you probably don't need the money. So I'm guessing it is sort of like glory more than it is money.
Yeah, do you know what it is? I'll be honest with you. I could have just not done the boxing for the last 18 months and done many TV shows and being paid well. But that doesn't fulfill us. I like the challenge. I like being out my comfort zone. I like thinking to myself, fucking hell, like the sparring, you know, the nerves you get, the fight nerves, all that kind of stuff is what drives us on. And listen, there's some good fights to be had. I'm never going to be a world champion. I can fucking openly admit that. I'm 34 years old. I come into boxing when I was 33. I'm not going to be a world champion. But I could maybe settle in 3 years and get an Northern area title. Along the line, there's some decent fights to have.
English,
do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It might be a bit far, but also 3 years is a long time. And never say never. I would look. Listen, if I could get a British title in the next 3 years, that would be probably one of my biggest achievements in life. Do you know what I mean? Because, like I say, I'm no spring chicken, but I am a fucking hard worker, and I put everything in on a daily basis to try and be a better person and a better fighter.
What weight class will you be campaigning at then?
I'm light at the minute. I'm so probably going to start at middleweight. I probably could boil down super welter maybe, but then it depends. You know what I mean? I don't. In the MMA, I went down to 70, but I was obsessed with the weight, and I was dead skinny. Like I looked dead skinny. So I don't. I'd rather be a little bit more thick set. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how the first one goes. But like I said, I don't mind moving. Like, listen, there's fights. We've spoke about certain people before. I'm not going to mention yet because I haven't had a fight. But there's certain fights I'd happily go up a weight or two because it's a test. It's a test for me, and I've got a plan in my head. I have a plan what I want. But I'm not going to tell you what it is. Unfortunately.
Listen, I'll sit back.
But I'll tell you, so we'll do another one at the end of the year, and I'll tell you if the plan is falling into place.
The reason I asked your weight because you have mentioned Jake Paul. Now he's heavier, and you've called him out when that Tommy Fury thing was going on. Yeah. I know what the Northern Area title and the British title would be an achievement, but is fighting somebody like Jake Paul, what he's done for this, what he's doing in boxing right now, and I mean he's put together Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano with Eddie Hearn. He seems to be an advocate for more pay for the fighters, especially in the MMA world as well. So it's fighting some. I know you want that Northern Area title, English title, British title, but you have called Jake Paul out. Is that a realistic goal for yourself?
100%. Why not? The thing is, Jake Paul. Look at the fights he's had. He looks for people with following. If you want to talk about following, I've got more following than Tyrone Woodley. Obviously, he was an MMA fighter. But so I think they're doable. Exactly. I think they're doable. I mean, I haven't had a fight yet, so it's kind of like a bit of a stab in the dark. Do you know what I mean? But even your Tommy Fury's, like I don't know Tommy, but listen, if it come around, then I would if Adam allowed it, I would take the fight
against Tommy Fury.
100%. Why not? Why not? Do you know what I mean? What's the worst that can happen? Oh, you got beat. Fucking fair enough. I got beat by someone who's maybe he's 9-0 by then. But at least I'm not just fighting people that are fucking 0-30, 0-40. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not just in here to try and build a record of 10, 15-0 and get. I'm not really bothered with that. I would like to go. Like I say, if there's titles to try and get, I'll get them. But if them fights come up, 100% I'll take them because that sets me family up for the rest of the life. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely. Okay, here's a question for you then. What happens, you versus Jake Paul? What happens?
Well, first I'd have to put a few kilo on.
Exactly.
I mean, listen, he looks heavy-handed. Don't get us wrong. He looks heavy-handed. But then I question the gas tank. For a few rounds in, I've seen him that he's taking like big breaths in. But listen, if he hits you clean, then it's going to be you're going to be in trouble. What does he weigh? 80?
Yeah, he's up there. He's up at like between like
cruise time.
Yeah.
So what's he about 84?
I think he's under 200 kilos.
Under what?
200 kilos, 200 pounds. You know, like if you're talking kilos, there, I was like, I think he's under 200 pounds. So I think it's probably like 196, 198. I think. I'm not too sure.
So he's heavy. But you see for that, mate, that to me,
he's not tall.
He's probably about my height, but I think he's a lot thicker. That to me is kind of a no lose fight. One, I'd probably be going on 4 weights to fight him. 2, I'd be getting a hell of a payday, and 3, I'm a heavy-handed kid as well. So obviously, me putting the weight back on is fucking danger for him because I'd be a lot quicker than he is. Do you know what I mean? So, me 100%. If I could get that fight by the end of the year, I would snap his hand off. But like I say, I haven't had a fight yet, so
yeah.
we can always dream. But listen, they're the kind of fights that I would be looking for 100%.
But you've seen what happens in the sport of boxing, man. It's a crazy sport. Anything can happen. And you said that you're heavy-handed as well, man. So question then, I'm going to ask, if you hit Jake Paul, does he go down and stay down?
I would like to think so, yeah. I don't know if I haven't seen him get hit clean, but I feel like if I caught him clean, he would definitely go down. 100%. In fact, 100%. 100%. Does he stay down? Let's wait and see.
I'm glad you said wait and see. I mean, obviously you've got a big partnership with Boxing and Sky Sports and that, and they seem to be pushing hard. We've got Amir Khan and Kell Brook, who thought that would happen. They seem to be pushing for Savannah Marshall and Clarissa Shields. Again, the new Sky Sports and Boxer just starting already seem to be making these fights that have always been on the cusp of being made. They seem to be like, right, let's get this thing by the scruff of the neck and make everything happen. So you keep doing all the right things. Who knows? Tommy Fury, Jake Paul, all these big sort of celebrities, boxing names, you can be in there.
Do you know what it is? Like I say, I hope so. I hope so. I'm not asking for anything out of the ordinary coming from the background that I'm in. Do you know what I mean? So, listen, if they come up, then fucking I would love to take them. If not, then we'll just work another path. But I think there's some exciting times ahead. I think there's going to be some big nights in Newcastle, and like I say, hopefully we can go around the world and have some fights on some big shows. That would be the absolute dream.
Go around the world and have some fun.
Exactly, mate. Like
and
I say before,
listen, Adam, I'll be there. I'll be on the plane as well. I'll be coming with you.
Good man. Before it's all said and done, I would like to say I've fought here, and here. Because in MMA, I only managed to get as far as Dublin. So, like you say, Sky Sports are making these big shows. I'm hoping I make an impact, as in viewing figures, which I'm quite sure that I will, which obviously puts me in good stead to get on the bigger cards. So, yeah, mate, I think it's an exciting few months. I think it's going to be some nervous few months. Obviously, my first fight, I haven't fought in 2 years, but like I say, I'm in the right place. I'm in the right hands, and yeah, I'm excited to move forward.
And I can't let you go without talking about it. Then Mick Conlan, you've trained alongside him. I've known him for a long time, since his pro debut and even in the amateur. You've known him for a long time now. You train alongside him. You live with him. He's probably there. Are you down in camp right now?
Yes, yeah.
He's probably there. Yeah. Talk to me about his fight with Lee Wood. Then he's fought everyone that's been put in front of him. He's beat them. He's got a tough test on his hand in Lee Wood. You've seen him in camp. How's he looking, and how does he do against Lee Wood?
Me personally, this is my opinion. I think he stops Lee Wood. I think everyone thinks the shoe's on the other foot, and Lee Wood's a big puncher. Fucking Mick Conlan's a big puncher. Mick Conlan is a big puncher, and I just think he's going to be too much for Lee. Listen, don't get us wrong. I don't know Lee. Obviously, I've seen his fights. I think he's a cracking fighter. He seems like a nice lad from what I've seen at the press conferences. Nice and quiet. But for me, in the way I see Mick, I think Mick stops him. It just Mick's mentality. Mick's his mentality. I've never met anyone so strong-minded in my whole entire life. It's fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, he's got that dog in him, isn't he? He's got that.
There's just no quit. There's just like when you think he's on his last legs doing something when we're training, he fucking pulls another one at the bag, and it's like I don't know. That's why he's just got world champion mentality. That's the best way to put it. And I think Nottingham, are you going to be there?
No, my missus is due on Wednesday next week, so a week Wednesday.
Oh, congratulations!
Thanks very much. So I'll be. I don't think I won't be doing nothing until probably near enough the end of March. So.
And well, it's nice to watch it in the house as well. Sometimes you get a better view in the house on the TV.
And I can have a couple of beers as well, unless I'm Coogan. Coogan has a couple of vodkas. I'll have a couple of beers in the house.
Coogan has a couple of beers and interviews people from what I've seen in Nottingham, what I've seen in Wales.
He holds it well though, man. That's sometimes.
He does. Do you know what it is? He was sitting next to me. He does. If that was me, I couldn't do any interviews.
Nah, he's some man. Listen, I'm absolutely over the moon for you, mate. Delighted.
Thank you very much.
When I spoke to you on one of them bubble shows back in 2020, you were excited to make your pro debut, and we were talking, and it seems like it was a long time coming. It seemed like it was never coming, to be honest. Every time I spoke to you, you said, "Oh, this happening," but it's finally there. You've signed on the dotted line. Sky Sports, BOXXER, buzzing for you, mate. Hopefully, we get a fight date soon.
Good man. Thank you very much, Andrew, mate. Thanks for having us on.
Thank you, mate.
Take care. See you later.
Cheers.